Where my music at? See, Miss 50. Dun, 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 dun. I was trying to start off with my boy, but Miss Fit want to start it off with Miss Fit and Thick. I don't know.
Ah, 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 ah,
It's your girl, Misty Antique, triple thick baby. Come on and pop your shit. Come on and pop your shit. Come on and pop your shit. Misty Antique, yeah. Yo, run that back. Let me reintroduce myself. Yo, run it back. Let me reintroduce myself. No, run that back. Let me reintroduce myself. Now run that back. Now run that back. It's your girl, Misty Angie. Please don't get it twisted. Your bullshit, I dismissed it. Triple thick by nature, but never been no. I'm not for the weak. Never do I fit in. Y'all follow the flock. I lead the pack. Big love and light, and my ancestors got my back. What? It's your girl, Misfit Angie. Please don't get it twisted. Your bullshit, I dismissed it. Triple thick by nature, but never been no hater. It's your girl, Misfit and cause we lit. Them hoes are 60. They love you today, but hate on you tomorrow. Because we lit. Them hoes stay 60. We gon' keep shining till it's blinding. Climbing and climbing while you hoes still decline. It's your girl, Misfit Antique, triple thick baby. Come on and pop your shit. Come on and pop your shit. Come on and pop your shit. Misfit Antique, yeah. It's your girl, Misfit Antique, triple thick baby. Come on and pop your shit. Come on and pop your shit. Come on. The fuck up, and I'm still
Listen, I
going to
said no
poop.
cursing. 10 minutes, man. Come on, we live. Come on, calm down, Miss Fit. Hey, what's good, everybody? I got a whole Miss Fit back. Oh my God.
And guess what, Nikki? The next one gonna be 8. How about that? How about that? What up, what up, what up, y'all? What up, what up, what up? Hi, Miss Marla. Hello. Hello, Miss Marla.
Hi, Miss Fit. Since I refuse to change my voicemail, can I just keep abbreviating your name smaller and smaller through the year of 2025? Because I'm not gonna say I realize that I'm running out of time. I'm getting too old, so I refuse to say Miss Fit and Thick Triple Thick Baby is ridiculous. How about we just how about I just break it all the way down to Miss Fit Fit.
Look, but you did such a great job just now. Give yourself a hand. Give yourself a hand. You did that. You
Girl,
did
life
that.
is we're LA's on fire. I don't have time for this shit.
I know, Miss Marla. How are you and your family? Like, talk about it.
Well, let me give you a personal update. The personal update is that two of my children live in direct fire zones. Moniece evacuated day before yesterday, and day before that, which is I don't even know where I am anymore. We had my youngest daughter, her husband, and the baby for Christmas, and they went home. We had the boys took them home on the 19th, and then they came back for Christmas, and then went back home on the 3rd, and now they're back because of the fires. So they evacuated and came to Vegas. So they're at my home in Vegas. My son is in the Woodland Hills, West Hills area, but in the densely populated flat area. So the problem for him would just be the air quality. But we check every day, and of course, all have been invited to come and take refuge here. But just that's their adults, so it's their choice. But from what I know, he's staying he's pretty much inside, which is good. So that's the issue with my personal family. But I will start right off the bat with letting you know that there's at least 6 people very close to me. In the Woolsey fire, it was 1 friend. Now it's 6 that have absolutely nothing. They were asked to evacuate, and they came back to a plot of land.
Man, I'm so sorry to hear that. Like, I know words couldn't even, you know,
I think that
I'm just speechless.
I think that the thing that I probably, I'm gonna share a lot, but what I really like to do always is just emotionally connect your audience to what that reality is through your feeling. Because we see things on the news, we've become unconsciously desensitized, meaning we see so much stuff, destruction and craziness all the time, that it just becomes normal. But I don't think that and this is one thing, I just want you to just listen for 1 second and feel this. If you're an adult, no matter what your circumstance in life, I don't know of an adult that has had to face every material thing you have being gone. I've moved many times in my life, and I choose. You lose things along the way. Even I've lost. I had a storage unit that was broken into, and I've lost some of my precious, pictures and things. But never to the degree that no one who leaves their home in these fire situations, it's so rapid that they say, get your important papers, get your pets and your children, and get the fuzznuck out now. Like, they're driving through your neighborhood and they're telling you, get out, like, get out, like, get gone. And your brain says, this is the people who are now, these people are here. We know this fire is coming. We can't control the wind, but they're going to fight the fire. That's what you're thinking. Okay. So they're going to put up a barrier and fight in my neighborhood to keep our property safe. So you leave with that as your most optimistic hope. And it is not, but it's always a minimum of 2 days before you even get to go back to an area that's been burned out. 48 to 72 hours. Other than that, it's still a hazard because you have hot spots, and they can't afford for that to kick back up because they do all the time. And you go back thinking, oh, okay, well, now the danger's gone. I'm going back, and you come back to absolutely nothing. Look at those pictures that she's putting up. There's nothing. I don't think you can. I mean, I was saying you have phantom feelings of, oh man, let me go get my hoodie. Oh shit, my hoodie was burned up in the. Let me go grab these shoes. Oh damn, let me go get my computer. Oh man, my jewelry that I left. Oh, you can't take everything. You can't even begin. And it's not just, oh, well, you have insurance. People accumulate things that matter in their lifetimes, and you'll never see them again. Everything that you have acquired, everything you call home, everything that you consider to be peace is gone. In minutes. Your house goes up in minutes. I mean, a minute. Like, in a minute, once it hits and the fire starts, it's minutes, and the whole thing is an inferno. And that's why people lose their lives, for the record, because they think, okay, I'll fight it. But fire creates weather, its own weather, and that wind is kicking up. And I have seen with my own eyes a wall of fire that is 100 feet tall. I don't think you're really getting what I'm saying. 100 feet of fire in a tube, in a pipeline, because the wind and the fire and the fuel and all the things. So do you have any questions?
You were yes, definitely. You were telling me about this area earlier. You was explaining to me yes. Thank you for saying it for me.
All right, so let me for your listeners, hey Banger, for your listeners who are here who don't really know LA. With that, like everything else, I mean, we're all victims of media, meaning, when you see Africa, It's only your reference to Africa is what you've seen on TV, National Geographic. You're thinking maybe people in huts and whatever the case, whatever they show you is what you think. And in reality, when you get there, it's not that. LA is the topography, which is the terrain in LA, is super diverse. So I lived in an area for 32 years called Woodland Hills, or 31. And my neighborhood, I was not even a whole mile. My next street, the next major street over is in Calabasas. So I was on the far west end of West Hills, Woodland Hills. Woodland Hills was my direct neighborhood, but West Hills is also connected. What I was explaining to Miss Fit is that you're thinking of palm trees and palm tree lined streets and all this other thing. Well, that is it. That happens. That exists, but it's in Beverly Hills pretty much exclusively. You know, a couple of neighborhoods, you know, off of Highland, the same thing. You get the big tall palm trees, and you know, that's not the bulk of Los Angeles. And so you have a lot of foliage and hills and canyons. And I was telling Miss Fit, economically, the joke I used to tell is the minute that you have any elevation or a hills behind your city name, your property tax just went up 50%, meaning Woodland Hills was really Canoga Park, but they separated. And once they became Woodland Hills, then it's more expensive to live there. These are your exclusive neighborhoods: Woodland Hills, Beverly Hills, Hidden Hills, the Palisades. There's a lot, but these are places that people go that are, the further out you get and the more exclusive and hidden it is. These houses, these are the places people are seeking. Malibu, but you Anaheim Hills, like it's all over the place. But the reality is, these are the places most vulnerable to these disasters. LA has what we call wind events. So Santa Ana are northern winds that kick up, and they generally, we used to know that they came at a particular season. We call it fire season. You know, October is generally, you know, the time that you start, you know, we call it Indian summer. You start, you know, being aware of winds. Well, when you have a wind that whips through topography that's not flat. See, LA is not a flat place at all. It's very hilly. Foothills. Altadena isn't a foothill. So you have all these places that are there, and what happens is you get, the weather people can see that we have a pattern of a wind event coming. When a wind event comes, we get issued what we call red flag alerts. A red flag alert means beware, the wind's about to get crazy. But you're also alerting pyromaniacs. You're also alerting serial arsonists. You are. And those people are waiting for these weather events because they set fires on purpose. They've already arrested 3 people. This is what they do. But when the wind gets to be where it was this time, which I've never experienced 100 miles an hour, 70, yeah. But you can't stop that. So once anything ignites, you got minutes to get the hell out. Minutes. And it's so scary that I can't explain, that you're looking at every minute. Like, I'm in my house and I'm not even in a hill, you know, in the thick part of where it is. The canyon was started about 3/4 of a mile up the street from where we were. You were in the canyon. So my thought is always, well, you got to burn through all of this before you get to us. So you are looking at the fire. You're watching it. You're like, oh, look, there it is. Like, it's on that ridge. You can see it burning. You can see the flame. And you're looking and you're watching the weather. You're watching where the wind is blowing. You're watching. You're like, okay, well, where's it moving? So I was telling Miss Fit, and I'll tell you guys, the pattern used to be, the fire got started in any canyon, and it blows towards the water. So it blows west, right? Or northwest, but it's going towards the water. So it would blow over, which is why Malibu's always hit. It blow, and I'm again, just to give you a reference to where I lived, I was about 20 minutes from actually being in Malibu, 15, 20 minutes just through one of the canyons. And so it blows through your canyon, Topanga Canyon, Calabasas, Canaan Road, all of that, and it blows over the canyons, burns mostly vegetation. There's pockets of houses, but it's not like Pacific Palisades, which is like the Beverly Hills of beach community. And it blows over, and it hops the street, it hops Pacific Highway, and then there's no more fuel. You're at the beach. There's sand and water, so it dies there. In this case, it started right outside of Pacific Palisades, which would be the backside of that, for reference, is Getty Center. The 405, those hills, Sunset Boulevard is hilly. Sunset Boulevard has Bel Air, and all of these neighborhoods exist off of Mulholland and Sunset. But it's all the wealthiest people want to they don't want to live on the water, but they want to have access and view to the water. And these are $13 million homes, $8 million homes. Like it's palatial. And it started right outside their backyard. They had no time, and the wind pushed it 80 to 100 miles an hour. They're going to find more bodies because people think, oh, let me just try to, I can't imagine I'm giving up everything. And before you know it, it's on you, and the wind takes it, and it's a wrap because you can't get out if you try because the wind is swirling. So that's pretty much what you're looking at. And you're looking at that happening in 8 different communities. All are residential, all heavily populated. So this is apocalyptic for those of us in LA. So my family, my youngest daughter lives in a fire zone. So they fled. So she's here.
Man, I'm glad your family is safe though, and everybody's there with you. You know, made the decision to leave and not try to.
Well, they couldn't breathe, and the other thing that people don't realize is, and I'll share this. You know, imagine this again in your head. You're in a canyon community. The roads are one way in, one way out, and they let you park on either side of the street. I have a video that I should have sent it to you with me driving to my daughter's house, and it's middle of the day, 80 degrees outside, and I'm like, this is some bullshit. I was like, because the hills are so deep, and you have to drive maybe 15 miles an hour, 20, because you can't see who's coming around the corner. One of the two of you is going to have to find a driveway space that's not parked in to pull over in to let the other one go. Either you go or I go. We can't go together. That's how small the roads are. So now imagine that. So those people who jumped out of their cars on Sunset and ran, and the cars were bulldozed because they couldn't get through to get to the fire. Imagine that on a road that only houses one car.
I have that video too, Miss Marla, and she bring it up, the one with the cars, how they were pushed over. And you were telling me something, how they build the trenches to make the fire burn itself out.
So normally what happens is these are the areas that generally are ignited are open areas. So we call it canyon country, right? So, and canyons are everywhere. There's Simi Valley. They're at the one that fire's burning out in San Clarita. Same thing. That San Clarita for you guys would be Magic Mountain, Valencia. So what they do is the fire gets started in an open area. And when the wind is consistent, they get in front of the fire and they build what we call a trench. And the trench, so the firemen, that's their goal is to contain the fire. So they build a trench, or they'll start, if it's anywhere near homes, like a tract community or whatever, they'll get in front of that and they'll build a trench, and then if the wind is right, they'll start a fire on the inside of the trench, not on the house side, on the residential side. They'll start it in the canyon side and want the fire to push back onto itself. Because if they do that, then the fire doesn't have any fuel to burn. It burns back on itself. Right?
Gotcha.
But when it's like this, there's absolutely no way. So I just want to debunk some of the things that are just BS. You know, the running out of water is not because of poor management. The running out of water was because the fire Very rarely in LA proper, do you have so many fires that threaten residential structures and areas that you're emptying tanks to try to contain it, and you couldn't use the typical stops. The wind was too strong. You couldn't fly in there at all because now you got plane tragedy. You're talking about winds that were 100 miles an hour. So before there was a fire, all the residents of Los Angeles were told, we're going to have a severe Santa Ana wind event. Stay away from your windows. This was an actual alert, because forget about a fire. The winds are going to be the strongest. That's hurricane force with no water. It's just a gusting wind that doesn't have a tornado attached. It's just blow you off your feet. So they were saying, be careful, stay away from your windows in your homes because your windows could break. Now, take that and add a fire to it. What you going to do with that? So there was no burn back. There was no burnout. There was no trench. And so even trying to stop it, I saw a video of somebody who was filling up her handbags and trying to throw it on her garage structure as the fire was just burning. And I'm like, and I'm always like, get out of there. These people who run back in houses to get cats and things. I'm sorry. It's sad. I get it. But your life is not worth it. People die doing just that, going back to collect pets.
We saw a video yesterday, played it, where the guy was inside the house and the whole outside the house was on fire.
Mm-hmm.
It's real serious out there.
Well, I've heard craziness. People get in the pool. So here's the thing. I'm not gonna. This is not about name dropping, but the people who are important in my world, I picked the phone today and made a personal phone call to at least 10 people. And I said, hey, look, the wind event is back next week, Tuesday, Wednesday. You got 5 days. If you are in, because all these people are in fire hazard areas who did not burn up. I said, please look around. Start now. Identify the things that you need. Some of these people are musicians and people who have, all kind of accolades and things that they don't like. Sheila E. is somebody we personally know. And she said, I got my music in my car. She's online and she doesn't know if her house is still standing, but she went to her parents' house. But the point that I'm making is now's your chance, because when the wind event happens, people looking for these fires will set them, and they'll now set them in areas that didn't burn. Now there's 8 areas that are on fire. Well, some of them didn't fully burn. Calabasas is on that list, but they're in areas where food, fire, fuel, and food is available. So next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're back at it. And once it starts, you can't stop it.
Prayers up for the city, man, for real. That's about all we can do.
Isaiah J says, I just got a lot of questions. Shall we read those?
Yes, because I'm gonna play the video. He said, "Oh wow, almost 100 incarcerated firefighters deployed to fight wildfires in Southern California, reportedly being paid up to $10.24 a day for their labor."
I don't have shit to say, because you guys, too many people ask for this
dumbass
administration. So don't get me started. I'm not going down that road.
Look, he said, depending on the crime, they low key deserve to be free, or they these are his questions up under here. He's talking about depending on the crime, they low key deserve to be free, or they case relooked at. How did y'all pick the 800? That's a good question.
Well, a lot of times they volunteer. That's number one. I mean, okay. The offer's there, and they I'm sure that it is probably based on what their criminal offense was.
Gotcha. And that's what he said. He said zip, zap, zop, meaning like, did he do any miny mo? He said, I don't know. And then he says, just don't let no Yolanda Slaughter Wars out. Okay, and then he says, if our president can be a felon, a guilty one at that, then I think them getting out and potentially being actually firefighters or second chance, what do you say? Actually firefighters or
Or
second
second chance
chances
at life
at life is fair,
is fair.
right? I get what he's
Yeah,
trying to say.
except you're putting their life in danger. I don't see anybody talking about commuted sentences. It's whatever. Our president can be a felon because he's a white wealthy man. That's why. That and nothing else obviously matters. So it's whatever. I just it's so all of this is so dangerous on so many levels. And like I said to Miss Fit earlier, I think the travesty is that we're even having to have this discussion in conjunction with and in parallel conversation to the fact that people have lost their lives. People have lost their livelihood. People have lost everything. And my thing is, we're discussing political implication, conspiracy theory, when we should only be talking about the compassion and empathy that we should all have for people in need, point blank, period. And it is disgusting to me because no one that lost started the goddamn fire.
Right.
Period. They are victims of a natural disaster, regardless of who started it. And to have leadership that is pointing fingers and talking crazy. I said today earlier to a friend on the phone who was talking about Karen Bass, I said, look, I'm not doing this discussion. I'm done. I'm not doing this discussion because the standard that we put forward for us is so very different. Everybody may not even be good with public speaking or how to respond or deflect. That doesn't mean they're not qualified. We're the only ones who have to keep standing up to a standard of perfect deliverance, of conversation, persona, information, qualification. When you got a bonehead who you keep electing because he has rich friends, you can't get anybody more uninformed and unintelligent, even in conversation, than the president elect. You're talking about freaking rainfall. Get off of my TV, please. You're talking about Hannibal Lecter and sharks and movies and YMCA. Leave me, let's stop. But you're the leader, and that's why we're here. But I'm gonna tell you this, and I said this to Miss Fit. You cannot mess with California. Now let's just jump let's jump the fence. What has happened this time was, in order to, even if it was a conspiracy, which I don't buy into conspiracy theories, but it doesn't even matter. What you did is you burned down wealth, and you can screw over black people, you can screw over immigrants and minorities. You burned down the who's who. You burned down Billy Crystal's house. You burned down. I can go. The list just goes on and on and on. James Woods. You burn their shit now. So if I post, I'm gonna send it to you, Miss Fit. Today, I am still a California resident, so that all the notifications and things come, and they're not playing with the restoration of this at all. Like immediately, they're like, yeah, okay. So now they're telling the insurance companies, all you people who canceled their policies, if they weren't canceled by October, you will pay. They're reinstating. Because you just, and this is what the difference with wealth is, which is sick. But you didn't do any of that stuff for the people in Katrina.
Right, that part. That part. Money does make a big difference. I was trying to pull up their it's a couple of artists and well-known people who houses just turn to mush, you know what I'm saying? And it was something else I was going to ask you. Have you ever seen the this type of devastation since you've been? Okay.
No. it's getting worse and worse. So the last fire that I was in LA on, the last one, which was Woolsey, and normally, there might be 10 structures in one close community to me, including somebody that I know very well. 60 houses were lost, unheard of. And this particular friend, I called her and I said, hey, I know you guys are here. You haven't been in LA that long. They came in from out of town and lived in a very nice neighborhood, gated community. And I said, this one is bad. And I said, look, there's so many fires going right now that the hands-on to help is not necessarily what it usually is. I said, so just, again, take your time, look around, and just, I'm not calling you to be an alarmist. I'm just calling you to say, it's time for you to consider what's important and to consider evacuating. She sent me a picture. She looked out the window and the fire was coming over the hill. And she and her husband and their 2 children got their bare essentials. And I mean bare. And they were like, oh, we're going to just go. I said, so what's your plan? She said, well, what's crazy, Marla, nobody came to evacuate us, because normally they do. They drive around your neighborhood and say, hey, get out. And they didn't. And this is in Bell Canyon. And they left and said, we're going to spend the night with a friend. We'll come back. And then, and 2 days later, when they were allowed back in their neighborhood, I hadn't heard. And I text back and I said, are you guys okay? And she said, oh my God. And I said, shut the F up. Did your house burn down? She said, to the ground. We got nothing. And I have videos and pictures of that, which was just horrific. And at that time, that was the closest person to me close that I knew that just literally left in a blink and came back to nothing. Well, today I got on my phone and more people that I've known I know these people. I looked up and there was another GoFundMe, and I'm like, and I had been texting her privately because I know she lives in Altadena. And I text her, and here's a brief conversation. I said, checking on you and the family. She said, safe. We evacuated last night. We're in a hotel in Glendale. And I said, is your home okay? And she just put, question mark, I don't know. She wrote me, pray for his miracle. She said, I believe so. I said, prayers are given. My family has, left and blah, blah, blah. And today I looked online and she sent me her GoFundMe. Their house burned to the ground. So that's how it sounds. And that's how I read that to you because that's how it sounds. It sounds like, okay, we're evacuating. We're going to go where it's safe. We're going to a hotel. What's going on with your home? Oh, we're hoping it'll be okay. And then you get back and there's nothing there.
I was about to say, so your family got out of there before the fire got near them, and then you were explaining to me about the hot spots.
Right. So what's happening now is the winds have died down, but they're still gusting. So they gust are up to 30 to 40 miles an hour in certain areas. And so what happens is why they keep you out for so long is because they're hot spots. And every time there's a hot spot and a wind gust blows, it blows the embers and lands somewhere else and ignites it on fire. So you don't know where that's going to be. So next week, that's why next week is so dangerous, because there's still plenty. LA is anywhere between 200 and 400 square miles of city. So the difference is New York City is super populated, right? But it's 9 miles. It's 9 square miles of an island that is built up into the sky. LA is vast. So if you ever fly into LA, mark my words, time me. From the time you see your first populated area to the time your commercial jet hits the ground, you've been flying for 35 to 40 minutes in a commercial jet going 500 to 600 miles an hour. So I want you to think about that. That's how much space exists in LA. That's why traffic is crazy. We don't have great public transportation to go all the places you need to go. So when I tell you that, I'm telling you that so you can kind of understand what that really means. So what that means is you listen to the amount of acres that are burned. 29,000. I mean, and that's one fire. So it's huge. LA is huge. So the point is that hotspots exist, and then the winds blow and they pick up. And when they do, you don't know. And more shit burns. You're in jeopardy. You don't even recognize. It's like, oh, okay. So they keep you
And
out
somebody
until
was saying how this. My bad. I was saying somebody was saying how the smell was different or something this time. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I
I don't
mean,
know.
this is the greatest destruction I've ever seen in one fire ever. So you know, gas keeps burning. You're burning down homes. Pretty much the main majority of Pacific Palisades is gone. So Pacific Palisades, when you get to the end of Sunset at the beach, that's Pacific Palisades. Turn right and you're going towards Topanga Canyon. Turn left, you're in Santa Monica. So when you come out at Sunset Boulevard at the ocean, that's where you are. That's Pacific Palisades. So all the restaurants we go to, Mastro's, Ocean Club, blah, 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 gone. Restaurants, gone. Shopping centers, gone. High school, gone. Businesses, gone. Houses, gone. Before the fire even finished, they were already at a low-end estimate of $60 billion.
Yep. Daughter, y'all said looting has already started. And that's crazy work. Would they use this as an excuse to start rounding up people to transport camps? You think
that's already happening too, that they're using this as an opportunity to actually be able to get people into, and oh my God, people are just, that's another show. The political impact of the choice that has been made is insane, but that's another show. But yeah, and the thing about it is, you know, and it's like everything else, it's profiling. You know, you're not going to stop and say, oh, I wonder, you know, if this person, you know, is guilty or not. You're going to you're looking for any opportunity. If you're a brown person, bye.
I'm definitely about to get into that too, because they got this. I see where they got a couple, well, not a couple, but I saw where they got a suspect in the custody that started one of the fires.
Yep.
And it's very unfortunate for you, like when you do stuff like that. Don't you understand that you doing it? You putting a stain on your culture. Like, I don't know. People don't think the way a lot of us do think.
No, because if you thought like that, then you wouldn't be a criminal.
You would really think twice. Like,
you would think more than twice. See, to me, I can understand crime that you're out of options and you're hopeless, and there's something that needs to be managed that the system has kept you from managing. I mean, in other words, I'm not a person who advocates crime on any level, but for example, I saw a story with the guy who robbed the bank because his daughter had severe life-threatening health care that needed to be handled, and the insurance, nothing would cover it. And it was like the John Q story, and in real life. And he's got this crazy sentence. Well, even though that's effed up, he didn't harm anybody, but the reality is, I kind of get it. Like, you're so tired of the system screwing you that you're like, you know what? Forget this junk. I'm sick of this. I'm not going to win anyway. So I might as well. And I'm not promoting crime, but I have to say it like that, because I don't think that people really realize what it's like to push people. First of all, push people to the end. And one of the things I talk about online constantly now is you're seeing it happen in your face. See, you're bringing in HB1 visa people to really increase your bottom line. Stop talking about Americans being mediocre. You're choosing who gets opportunity and who doesn't. You're picking it based on what will facilitate you. That's what you're doing. So you can miss me. all the way around the block, because we're smart enough to build the White House and we're smart enough to do all these different things. But all of a sudden, when it comes time for you to choose Tim Scott and your dumb butt licking self, who's going to actually get a position in power? It won't be you. You do all this campaigning and licking and sucking and doing what you got to do. It's wrong. And I said it, and I'll say it 52 billion times, because it's not that stop. I want my Black community to stop feeling like we're not qualified for anything. It's not true. Some of the greatest things on this planet have been invented by us. The greatest level of survival has been endured by us. We survive all things and still seem to rise. So you can get out of my face with all that. And the minute you get uncomfortable, the minute you don't like what's happening, I saw this lady online, and she was from Pacific Palisades, and she was talking about the water. And by the way, I had clients who lost in the Woolsey fire in the Calabasas area. And I don't know what it is. Maybe, my intellect, or maybe my speech, my syntax, I don't know. But they feel real comfortable being totally themselves and complaining to me. And they said, "Oh my God, Marla, the fire station is right down the street. And I drove down there." And I'm like, "You need to get to my house and save it." And I looked at her like, I said, I'm not gonna call her name. I said, so-and-so, did they tell you to evacuate? I'm just saying, I mean, my God, our house is $5 million. And I said, And I said, but you do know that there's everyone has come. There's the Woolsey fire, there's the Camp Fire. There was a lot of fires burning even in Northern California at that time. Well, I had my neighbor come out, and they put their hose on the foliage, the stuff across the street. And I said, "Why didn't you evacuate? They told you to evacuate, right?" And her mind, and I said, "Do you understand you're complaining and you're angry and you're writing your local councilman and representative because you feel like they should have stopped the fire in the canyon across the street that would have burned up a bunch of homes to come save yours?" I said, I don't know. I'm glad you guys are safe, but I can't really support this conversation. I can't. I don't understand. I don't get it. I'm like, you know what we're talking about. You live nearby. And I'm like, no, but I do live nearby. And I have been through many fires. But the reality is, my God, bro, I'm not God. None of us are. So I don't think that anything that has to do with financial well-being is bigger than mother freaking nature. You entitled assholes. That's how I really feel. You're entitled. Stop it.
Bigger than life, like, for real though. Like, what they say on the airplane, save yourself first type. Like, people
Correct.
just forget all of that when it comes to I guess situations like that. I saw where an elderly man, 60-year-old man, lost his life trying to save the house. That's so unfortunate. But yeah, when these people tell you to go, you gotta go. What they say, you can't take it with you. You can't take it with you.
Listen, they feel like that their money entitles them to safety. I got all kind of hilarious stories, because one of the most exclusive neighborhoods in the valley is Hidden Hills, and they used to leave their doors open. And I had a couple clients in there, and someone who was invited into. They have their own courthouse. They have their own everything, right? And someone was invited on a list. You can't get in without it. And they were invited in, but they were a guest of somebody. But in other words, they started breaking into the cars and houses in the neighborhood. And my clients were like, "Oh my God." I said, "Well, was your door locked?" "We don't lock our doors, Marla." And I said, Well, I think that's silly, so and so. I said, because you know why? I said, you guys are the least prepared people to defend yourselves. I said, your son just came to me and asked me, could I convince you to buy him some rims or whatever, whatever? And I said, I said, why would I do that? Are you going to just drive around the neighborhood? He said, no. I said, I can break your jaw with my elbow. Just jaw jack you, and take your car. Because you're not even, what? Get out of here. These people are delusional. And they really feel like we have so much money. These are unspendable people. They can't spend their money in 4 lifetimes. Seriously. And they feel like because they have money, they're immune from death, disease, theft, fire. They don't think any of it will ever affect them. And it's the stupidest thing. I'm like, you're human, right? They don't get it. They don't get it. And it's really sad. And it's super sad. And if they didn't think like that, then they would recognize that if we keep pouring into people who don't have as much, we'll build a stronger community, because it's the people who've been through some shit who care about other people.
That is true. Miss Marla, I was thinking about what you were saying. about the damage, and shout out to the team for sending this. Look, it says OMG, the LA fires estimate to cause over 50 billion in damages, making it the most expensive tragedy in the state's history.
Yep. In the country.
Let me see if they talking on here. It's just music. I don't want to play nothing. But that's where you were talking about Pacific. How you say it?
Pacific Palisades.
Palisades. There we go. Palisades. Let's get it together. But yeah, this is crazy. Say shout out to the neighborhood talk to, says the neighbors, let's get into this. For the past few days, we've been covering the tragic Los Angeles fires that has taken the lives of 5 people so far and has destroyed thousands of homes across the city. Says, well, according to an AccuWeather report, the financial damage the fires have caused is astronomical. Say it's predicting that the fires could cause over 50 billion in damage. Billion, yes.
Billion. Mm-hmm.
Billion, yes. Ooh, the fires are spread across multiple areas, including Santa Monica, Malibu, and other areas in Los Angeles County, which is the haven for the state's most expensive real estate. Ooh.
Right. Well, see, the closer you get, so the closer you get to water, or being on a first elevation and then water in LA, your property is exorbitant. So I'm a realtor. So let me just give that qualification. I'm a licensed California realtor. You can't even call me up and say, "Hey, Marla, I'll send you my loan qualifications. I'm looking for a property in Santa Monica. I'm looking for a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom." Let me back up. I'm gonna back up just a minute. One of the more recent sales, before I had to help my dad and come to Vegas, and I'm still back and forth, I sold a 1,100. I want you to get this in your head. And 67 square foot, 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom home in Inglewood, in the hood.
That's the hood.
It's the hood. $860,000. I just want you to get an idea of LA real estate. I said Inglewood, in the middle of the hood. And I closed down offers after 3 days because I had so many offers. I sold a home for $1.4 million. I remodeled that home. I did all of it. And we sold that home for $1.4 million. And it is essentially on Fairfax Boulevard, in Washington Boulevard, and Fairfax would be the major cross streets in the hood. And the house I added 300, 300 square feet. Anyway, house is about the main house is about 1,600 square feet with the addition. And then we built out the ADU, 1.4 million in the middle of the hood, West Adams area. So I want you to understand. So now take that and let's bounce over to Santa Monica. Don't even talk to me. A fixer is, I said, what are you, can I interest you in anything adjacent? Because we're not even talking without pretty much a $2 million budget for a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, nothing in Santa Monica. So now let's bounce over to Pacific Palisades, where you have palatial mansions. Palisades backs up to Brentwood. That's where OJ lived. That's where Nicole lived. That's off of Wilshire. That backs up to Beverly Hills. So Beverly Hills is on the east side, Santa Monica Boulevard, Bel Air. All that is connected to what I'm talking about. So you have Bel Air, cross the 405, I'm in Brentwood. Go closer to the beach, I'm in the Palisades. 20 million. You guys saw Beyonce stuff.
That's a big jump.
Homeby Hills, LeBron James, right there. All of them. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you that these houses are uber millions of dollars and they're burned up. They're gone. So I'm just, you talk about money.
Damn.
It's a lot. So that's celebrity land. So you either live there as a celebrity or you come out to Hidden Hills, Calabasas, I call it that. And you buy out there. That's the most premier San Fernando suburban neighborhood. And you buy horse property. And your house is 2 streets long. Right? And that's
you said 2 streets.
2 streets long. Like one of my clients had a house that the Disney family built. And their house is so big that it has 2 addresses because it turns the corner. So you can get to it from this street or that street. And so it has 2 addresses.
Oh my gosh. Miss Marla, I see the guy getting arrested for hold up. Let me move this so y'all can see it. The one of the guys that was sparking these fires. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to do a Miss Debbie, if you're still in the chat, thank you for the cash app, love. I appreciate you. I'm sorry. We just jumped into the story. I meant to address you when I first started. My bad. That's my little thank you, my little siren I put out there before I tell people thank you. But I'm okay.
Was that a siren or was that you?
Yes.
In pain?
That was me. That's that's my siren.
You know, we
that's
live in
my siren.
We live in a time of AI. I think you might.
Miss Marla, don't come up here hating.
Listen, I'm not hating.
It's your first time over here.
Let's talk the Big Banger. Let's talk the Big Banger, and the 2 of you need to get together and let's find a siren. I know y'all can do it. Come on.
I think I do pretty doggone good doing my own sound effects.
I don't want to get my 1-year-old grandson down here who can actually now sing and get him to judge you. I don't want you to be judged by a baby.
Thank you. See, Miss Debbie say I love it. Miss Debbie say I love it. Thank you. Thank you for the love. Big love.
Debbie, we love the fact that you're supporting, but let's keep it real with her. She can take it.
Oh. What you mean? Yes, that was me. What I said serious? I don't know. I'm a little bit lost. It's just been a couple of somber moments. It's like kind of hard for me to get, to go there. I feel guilty to joke. I don't know. It's just a lot going on. A lot of people going through a whole lot.
But you know what? That's the bring your you at all times. I mean, that's the thing that keeps us up. So that's the bottom line.
That's real. That's some real spill, as they would say. But yeah, this is the guy. I know y'all can't see, it might be too small, but they're not really, they're just showing this for educational purposes only. When the guy was captured,
Yeah, that so
nobody's
the
physically
citizens
fighting.
attacked. Yeah, the citizens arrested him. He had
Oh, hold on.
they took him down.
That was citizens arrest. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought that was the police. That wasn't the
No,
police. Oh,
no.
let me get this
The
straight.
citizens
We don't
arrested him.
condone violence.
He had a blowtorch. So Woodland
What?
Hills again is where I live. That was my home
He
for
had a
31.
he had a blowtorch, Miss Marla.
Mm-hmm.
What? Let me
You're not
see. This
understand. You're not understanding that there are people who are sick. They're literally criminal arsonists. Let me tell you a quick story. There's a guy, and he was a criminal arsonist, and he lived out off the 405 way north. And I don't want to give a specific city because my details may be off, and I don't like misinformation. But I can tell you factually that they had the because he was suspected of being a criminal arsonist, they had put up like 30 cameras in the area, like where he would go. And in one of these previous fires years past, a camera caught him taping matches to a cigarette and throwing it out on the side of the road on I-5, on the 5 freeway, and starting a brush fire. And he was arrested. And I'm like, because the people are like, look, I'm telling you, he's going to do this again. He was released. And that's what it is.
Dang. And that's crazy work. Now he need to been in a mental hospital. So I'm just saying, I'm in no judgment, definitely no judgment. But why would they set him free to go and destroy somebody else's life?
Because
Like,
nobody clearly wants to fix real problems. We just want to
yeah,
talk about
dang, that's true.
That's why.
And then look, Miss Marla. Then they turn around and want to lock up somebody for taking street justice. So make that part make sense.
You're not going to.
It's crazy work. Like y'all
It's
don't
gonna,
want to do y'all job, but
gonna,
y'all I already
gonna,
know what the routine gonna be if you keep letting this person out to do the destruction that they do. Somebody gonna run to the right one, wrong one, and then y'all gonna sit back, and then after that man had to do what he had to do because y'all didn't want to lock him up and get him the help y'all want to lock him up. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yep.
That makes absolutely
And
no sense.
you know what else would makes no sense? That we're so screwed up and turned around backwards. Another thing that really gets under my real skin, that we will make more effort in a lot of cases to save animals than we will people, especially brown people.
That part, get more time for
You'll
doing
go
stuff
back.
to a
You
dog.
do some craziness and go get a horse, but you'll let us burn up.
Crazy, drown. Crazy work. My heart just go out to all the people there, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? You put all this work into something, and you to build something to make something out your life, and then next thing you know, whatever happenstance, you just got to leave all that behind, like you didn't even put in all that work. I get how those people are thinking.
And Miss Fit, I just got a text message. I'm gonna share this with your audience. I just text my daughter Moniece, who was asked to evacuate, and I said, "Are you good?" She just texted me back and said she's good, with a thumbs up. So I'm keep confirming because Moniece was in a fire area, so that's all good.
That's good. That's good. Because I was wondering and I was hoping that she would have made it in there with you too.
Yeah.
So
that didn't happen, but at least it does, as long as they're all safe, I'm good.
That's good. Prayers up. Because I did see where she went live and she was telling about what happened. And I get it. That's a hurtful thing to go through. You save up and you put your all into something, and then they try to do that bogus stuff with the insurance. Like who they playing with.
Right. Well, if that's another thing. The other thing I wanted to share this with your audience. Hey guys, whoever can hear my voice, it behooves us. I implore you, I beg you, I ask you, I encourage you to get educated. See, here's the thing about education. It's free and it's out there to be had, but it will assist you even in defending yourself. I need to say that because the laws that bind us, the laws that they loophole through could be your loopholes if you knew what they were. So like I told Miss Fit today, to be honest, the minute that the fires hit yesterday, David and I got text messages from every credit card company in my wallet, which happens to be 18. Hey, you're exempt. We see you're a California resident, blah, 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 blah. You don't know if my house burned down, nothing. But the bottom line is what's possible for you. What you don't know is if an earthquake, which I do my research, if an earthquake, why did they downgrade the Northridge earthquake, which destroyed everything I had? But I got it hooked up because I looked it up and I'm like, oh, anything that registers over 6.8, it was like in the sevens. It was horrific. Then they have to exempt me from property tax. Look it up. So they changed the Richter. Oh, we said it was 7.4. No. It was 6.8. Liar. My whole life turned upside down. We moved to LA in September of 1993. That quake hit in January 1994, and I swear to God, I've been through many earthquakes, and I was like, I was sure we were dead. My whole back half of my house was glass. Every sliding door lifted off the hinge. The pool water tidal waved into the house. We lost probably $20,000 worth of CDs. My hot water heater dislodged. We were cut up with glass. It was crazy talk. It was crazy. It was like, oh, this is apocalyptic. Everything went dark. But if you don't know, and that's what we have to do. We have to use the system that they use to enslave us. We have to use that system and refuse oppression. We have to use the education that they built to talk around us to actually get in the conversation and say, oh, hell no. Like Jasmine Crockett said, I posted that. She said, you're sitting at the table with 4 Black women are the most educated group of people in the United States of America. So we built this shit, and now you're going to say, oh, DEI and all this other kind of stuff? Stop it. Stop. You're at the table with 4 Black women. If we're good enough to do all this stuff, then I totally agree with her. But we got to get in the conversation. Hold on. Go back to that. Let me go to that. Somebody, because I haven't, so I'm going to give you my information because I have real help. As a victim who lost everything in a fire. Oh, in a fire. Okay, myself. Without any insurance, material things can be replaced. Knowledge is power. Yeah. Nobody can take it away. Nobody can take it away. And I'm just saying that we give up. And I'm saying, I'm going to have a show that I do that's coming up with my mom, who was 82, and she was in civil rights. And I said, Mom, what's different? And she was like, we actually showed up, and I saw it and I posted it on my page. They did it in Michigan. Somebody shot this gas station owner shooting at a mentally handicapped person for taking something for $1. And the Black community showed up and joined arms and stopped people from shopping and closed this gas station down. They blocked all the entrances. We need that. I'm not trying to evoke violence. I'm just saying you have to stop putting up with the bull. It can't just be what you're talking about on social media. Show up. Stop spending your money. Go to the blackoutmovement.org, which is my movement, and we're shutting down. We're shutting down. The month of February, we're not doing anything. I'm not spending my money with people who are going to diss my community. So I drive across the town now because I won't shop at Walmart. I'm not doing it. You cancel DEI, you get all the money in the world, buy Sam's, buy Walmart, buy Home Depot, I'll go to Lowe's, no problem. So do your research, get your education, and stop supporting people who don't give a shit about you, period.
That's it. That's all. But look, Miss Marla, I wanted to play. I think it's a video.
Go ahead.
with them talking about the suspect. Hold on, let me unmute it.
Incident occurred, started here, and about 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, a suspect was detained over in Woodland Hills area by citizens.
So someone purposely set the Kenneth fire.
At this time, that's what we believe, yes.
Do you know how or why they did that?
That I don't know.
Is this a crime scene right now?
Yes.
So everything's closed off.
It's being investigated as a crime. What we know right now is that the incident occurred, started here, and about 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, a suspect was detained over in Woodland Hills area by citizens.
So someone purposely
They
set the
weren't
Kenneth
playing
fire.
with him.
At this time,
They was not playing with him, and I don't blame them. Like, don't tear our stuff up. Don't. I hate that. Evil is just rampant. Because why else would you do that? What else could be the reason behind burning down innocent people's houses and stuff?
Let me give you a statement that I want you to. I hope everybody replays this. You said something very poignant, and I'm gonna add to that. You said that this. What'd you say about the? Did you say this is evil?
Yeah, I said evil is running rampant.
And I'm going to tell you, and here's my statement. Evil at this point is inspired. This country has inspired evil. It's not just running rampant. It's inspired. It's encouraged. Evil is now encouraged. Evil is supported. I can give you a bunch of words. It's because it is. Hatred and evil is now encouraged. It's supported. It's inspired. It is. And that's a problem because it will destroy us. Hate is a tool of destruction. Love is a tool of growth and support. Trust me when I tell you.
And that's real.
And that's real. And we must
and
reject
that's real.
that shit.
And then people take love and think it's always supposed to be soft. And no, sometimes love has to be tough. That don't mean you love any less. So that part, but you're right, and it does promote growth.
And Tyra Butt-Not Banks, I'm so sorry that happened to you, and it sucks.
Me too. And she said I lost my house in 2017 to an explosion. The neighbor's house blew up. What you say to pieces?
Blew up to pieces and tore the entire right. Yeah.
Right side of my home off. No one helped. I was homeless for 4 months. Had to hustle to get back. Right, love. Sorry that happened to you.
Yeah, for sure. Our hearts go out. And that struggle's real. And I don't like people to dismiss the obvious. And I appreciate her saying that because it's ridiculous. And I agree with daughter of Yall. This whole thing has and I guess the thing that really makes me a little bit upset, daughter of Yall, is it's not even hidden. I think that's what's making me mad. You don't have to. It's so blatantly stupid. You don't really have to figure it out. So people are overthinking it. I'm like, why though? Why are you overthinking this? I'm confused. What are you doing? I don't get it. I'm like, it's so blatant because it's just buffoonery in your face. You don't have to interpret it. There's no, when it came to political agendas, you used to have to read between the lines and understand, the history and the motive and the blah, 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 blah. Now it's like, okay, no. Here I am. I'm going to tell you this lie in your face. And it's going to be proven to be a lie, but you're going to dismiss it because what happened?
I don't know. People get so caught up in their own delusions of themselves or whatever the case may be till they get to the point where they try to push their narrative or their false reality on others. And it just doesn't work like that. And when I get it, back in the day, it might have used to work on, on us, but it really never did. We were always a step ahead. We just didn't have the motion and as far as to how to get to where we need to come to. But in this day and time, a lot of us look at things differently, you know. And I think back then they were more unified with their thinking and their concept as to what needed to happen for us as a whole versus what needs to happen for me personally and me only, if
Right.
that makes sense.
Which is what I was saying, which is why I'm gonna have the discussion with my mother, because I said, you know, the one thing I learned was that those who fought as hard as they did in the civil rights, they never expected to see the change for themselves. They fought for the future of their children and grandchildren. They fought for others. And we're so self-focused, and we're so not about our neighbor, and we're so all about us, and it's disgusting. It's ridiculous. And so, you know, I just pray. I pray for us all. I pray for those right now that are suffering. I pray for those who have, in genuine prayer, who have experienced extreme loss. And loss is loss. And until you stand in those shoes, you can talk crap all you want from outside, but it's dumb, because if it were you, I don't care if all you were holding was a shoebox full of memorabilia that was yours and you lost it, it would matter. And that's how I see it. It's not about who has more and who has more to lose. It's about loss is loss. And I'm sorry for that, because it hurts, because you can't, there's too many things you can't replace in this life. And those are the things that tend to matter most. And those are the things that are lost to people in these fires. And I just have to say that. And, you know, and I really hate that politics is a conversation that's been brought into this. It's disgusting. This is about humanity. This is about empathy. This is about compassion. That's what it's about.
Right.
And anybody who tries to make it about anything else, you have to side eye them. It's like, really? It's like, I'll give you just real quickly as well, that, you know, I felt like that about the royals. So let me get this straight. Because Harry and William are royalty, they're not supposed to have any effect or feeling about their mother being murdered by paparazzi? Get out of my face. Like, of course they have impact. But because you see them, we, and I'm gonna make a big statement here. We must stop putting people of influence and high profile and celebrity on a pedestal. Stop. There's no one I've met that's a major celebrity, from Prince to Michael Jackson to whoever you want to name, that doesn't go to the bathroom like you do. We're all human. They have gifts that they've been given, and they share those gifts with the world, and you've grown to appreciate those gifts enough to covet those people. Stop. Appreciate their talent, love what they do, love how they've inspired you, and stop putting them on a pedestal, because we're wrecking life, because these people are people. You block them from actually having feeling. You block them from being able to say, hey, I'm going through, because how you've taught people to say, oh, I can't even be real, because I have to meet your
Yeah,
expectation.
they scared to be
I
real.
have to meet your expectation, fan. Well, you can't be like this because you look like this, and you're married to this one, and this one, you have this amount, and you got this, and as if it's not right. And until we break that cycle, until we understand and stop trying to own something that you think you want to be, and just be the best you can be, then that's when you're going to become the most powerful. Period. Is that snapping or clapping? Because
Yes.
I don't know, because
It's snapping. I thought you.
Okay, because you sang a fake ass siren, so I didn't know.
Since you love it so much.
Well, Miss Fit, my grandson is here as a fire refugee, and he's gonna come down in Dave's studio and we put his crib down here in the 3rd-story basement because it's soundproof.
So I mean, I didn't want to ask because I know it's probably if you don't want to answer, it's cool. So are there, as of right now, are their properties okay, or they don't know?
Lexi and Ben, everybody's good. I don't know what that means for Monisa's house, but again, I just read you a live text. She literally just texted me, and I read it to you on your show.
Gotcha.
I didn't ask her about her property. I just asked, "Are you okay?" And she texted me back.
Well,
That was at that was at 2 o'clock.
I have her live if you wanted to look at it.
Okay, hold on one second.
A piece. Okay.
Did your
You wanted me to wait?
Yep, home
Okay.
survive. Let's just ask her.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm asking her. She'll text me back,
Oh, okay.
so you'll know. I don't know. I don't follow online. So
Okay.
unless I'm having a private conversation with she and DJ, and again, I just because of the issues that exist, it's too heartbreaking for me. It's not because I'm hateful or want to be disconnected. It's just it's an emotional safety mechanism for me because I know that if things are really deep and there's a need that really needs to happen and there's real communication that's genuine and sincere, that it'll come personally and not through social media.
That's correct. I understand. Respect. Respect. You said something that made me think about something that I I wrote down for a show. Um, basically, I said the dumbest thing you can ever do is just hate cause. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, just because you light, because you're darker, just because you're short, tall, fat, small, black, white, brown, or tan.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all problem, meaning the people that hate. The problem is not us. It's within you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's within them because
Yep.
they find their lives so unacceptable
Mm-hmm.
to the point where they don't realize that the only person that's making their lives that way is them.
Correct.
And they're the only people that can change it. Hating on the next man for whatever reason is not going to fix your problems.
All right. Well, my little precious baby boy is here to take his to, no to take his to take his position as prince.
Okay.
So I will have to hang up and let him have his silent space. But I will.
Okay.
But any time that I can, bring anything to you guys, let me know. And
Okay.
I appreciate you having me on. Hold on one second, Miss Finn.
Okay. I would say definitely keep us posted.
I will definitely keep you posted. And I will send you a message, and you can share that as you continue this. And I thank you for all your listeners. And just remember, guys, I'm gonna end with this. We are nothing without our compassion. We are nothing without our empathy, and we are nothing if we cease to hear the needs of others who are suffering. We're nothing. And so let's make that our focus for the future, and just remember, but by the grace of God, there go I.
Hey, look, Miss Marla, they're telling you thank you. You're right. And they're telling you that they love you. Yes, thank you so much for giving us an insight of, personal insight of everything that's going on. We're glad that you and your family are safe. And of course, we're sending big love and prayers to all you guys. I already hear him. He said, that's it, that's all. Okay, you can have your
Hey,
nana.
bye. Say bye bye. Say say bye bye. Say bye bye.
Bye
Okay.
bye.
All right. All
All
right.
right,
Thank you. We'll
ladies.
talk later. All right. Bye,
Okay.
guys.
Right, appreciate that. Everybody's saying thank you too, Miss Marla, if you're still listening. But that's real, yo. At the end of the day, like I say, like she just said, love is what help us grow. Hate does nothing for nobody but keep you back, sad and miserable. I appreciate everybody for stepping out, coming out to the show tonight. Um, as always, continue to love on yourself and love on each other because we all we got at the end of the day, and that's facts on facts. Y'all already see how things are going on, And before I get out of here, I thought this was so touching to know that during this time, in the midst of you people suffering, that people are able to step aside themselves and put others and consider others. I came across this video on IG of this couple right here, y'all. Let me move this so y'all can see it. Give me 1 second. We're going to continue praying for these people. That's all we can do, right? That's all we can do. And we understand there's always somebody going through something way worse than us. And in times like these, it does make us reflect and to keep ourselves humble, not to get beside ourselves. For real, though.
Friends, we hope everyone's okay. We have reserved a hotel block of rooms here in Sherman Oaks. Please reach out to us. Please take advantage of it if you need. So many people caught off guard being evacuated. We're here for you. We have a large block of rooms. Right, again, Sherman Oaks, Coldwater, Riverside. DM me if you need it. We also have our office space right next door. Ton of space. Power still on. Electricity, internet, storage space if you have stuff you need to store.
This is when you execute. If you need help, forget anything other than asking for help. Now is the time to be safe.
Yes.
You have a place that you need to stay at, please reach out. No questions asked,
yeah.
Ready to roll.
Better to be safe than sorry. Reach out to me, DM. It's not a problem. We're here for you. Please spread the word too if you know people who need help. Help us get the word out. And yeah, everyone be careful. Take care. Charge your phones. Charge your stuff now. Even if you have power, you never know.
That's so beautiful. And Lunell, I don't know if y'all remember Lunell or know who Lunell is, the comedian. She in the chat, she say, this is wonderful and amazing. And I almost cried. God bless you too. Right. Because in the middle, I don't know if y'all see in the background, but while they sitting up here talking, it's like a whole big old fire in the back. Like, but yeah, y'all, I appreciate y'all coming out and popping it with me and Miss Marla on today in Big Z. Appreciate y'all. Continue. Make sure that y'all following all the platforms because y'all never know when we pop up. Might be tonight, might be later. We just never know. You just never know. So y'all need to keep the notification lit because you never know when we about to pop it. Big prayers to Chrisean and Chrisean as always because we always send love and covering their way no matter where they may be. And definitely big prayers and covering to everybody that's losing something, going through something, whether it's in this fire, whatever you got going on in your life, big prayers to you and covering and sending peace to your mind, regardless as to the storm that you or bind you in. Point blank, period. So until next time, guys, I'm gonna catch y'all on the laters. Later, y'all.
Where my music at? See Miss 50 going. Dun. I was trying to start off my boy, but Miss Fit want to start it off with Miss Fit and Dig. I don't know.
It's your girl, Misfit and Thick, TripleTHiCKBABBEY. Come on and pop your shit. Come on and pop your shit. Come on and pop your shit. Misfit and Thick, yeah. Yo, run that back. Let me reintroduce myself. Yo, run that back. Let me reintroduce myself. No, run that back. Let me reintroduce myself. Now run that back. Now run that back. It's It's your girl, Misfit and Thick. Please don't get it twisted. Your bullshit, I dismissed it. Triple thick by nature, but never been no. I'm not for the weak. Never do I fit in. Y'all follow the flock. I lead the pack. Big love and light, and my ancestors got my back. What? It's your girl, Misfit and Thick. Please don't get it twisted. Your bullshit, I dismissed it. Triple thick by nature, but never been no hater. It's your girl, Misfit and Cause we lit. Them hoes are 60. They love you today, but hate on you tomorrow. Because we lit. Them hoes, they 60. We gon' keep shining till it's blinding. Climbing and climbing while you hoes still decline. It's your girl, Misfit and Thick. Triple thick, baby. Come on and pop your shit. Come on and pop your shit. Come on and pop your shit. The Misfit and Thick, yeah. It's your girl, Misfit and Thick. Triple thick, baby. Come on and pop your shit. Come on and pop your shit. Come on. The fuck up, and I'm still
Listen, I
going
said
to
no cursing. 10 minutes, man. Come on, we live. Come on, calm down, Miss Fit. Hey, what's good, everybody? I got a whole Miss Fit back.